Ahoy Mateys! Today, we are diving into the thrilling world of pirates. Get ready to meet some of the most famous scallywags to ever sail the seven seas. We will uncover what made these pirates legendary, from their cunning strategies to their fearsome reputations. So buckle up, buttercups, and grab your eye patches, because we are about to set sail on an adventure. Let's set sail. Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard. More hair, more fear. First up, we have got the OG pirate king himself, the man, the myth, the literal beard, Blackbeard. This guy was not just a pirate, he was a whole vibe. I mean, the dude literally stuck lit fuses under his hat to intimidate his enemies. Blackbeard's flagship, Queen Anne's Revenge, was basically the Beyoncé of pirate ships, sleek, powerful, and everyone knew when it rolled into town. His most infamous enterprise was to blockade the port of Charlestown in South Carolina with his flotilla of pirate ships in May of 1718. What did he want? Answer: a treasure chest full of medicines and medical supplies. In late November of 1718, the British Navy caught up with Blackbeard. In ensuing battle, Blackbeard received 20 stab wounds and 5 gunshot wounds before finally succumbing. Blackbeard was the ultimate showman, using his fearsome appearance and larger-than-life personality to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. The Barbarossa brothers, double trouble on the high seas. Next up, we are heading to the Mediterranean to meet the Barbarossa brothers, Uruk and Hayreddin. These guys were not just brothers, they were partners in crime, ruling the Mediterranean Sea like it was their own personal swimming pool. They were basically the original pirate power couple, except, you know, brothers. They had a few lucrative sea raids. Their victims included 2 papal galleys and a Sardinian warship. Imagine being so good at being a pirate that the Ottoman Empire basically hires you to be their navy. They were like the Beyoncé and Jay-Z of the pirate world, but instead of dropping albums, they were dropping ships. They were the ultimate opportunists, seizing every chance they got to expand their power and their wealth. Sir Francis Drake, from privateer to knight, this guy did it all. Hold on to your spy glasses, folks, because we are about to meet a pirate who was knighted by Queen Elizabeth I herself, the one and only Sir Francis Drake. This guy was basically the James Bond of pirates, charming, adventurous, and always up for a good time, especially if that good time involved raiding Spanish ships. He even circumnavigated the globe. That's right, he sailed all the way around the world. He was the first English captain to do so. This expedition took place from 1577 to 1580. During that trip, his ships raided various Spanish ports and captured a Spanish vessel loaded with treasure. Talk about a serious case of wanderlust. Remember the Spanish Armada? Yeah, Drake was instrumental in defeating them, cementing his place as a true English hero. François l'Olonnais, the stuff of nightmares. Okay, this next one is not for the faint of heart. The French pirate François l'Olonnais was, well, he was a special kind of terrifying. Think of the most gruesome, brutal pirate you can imagine. L'Olonnais was probably worse. Infamous for not taking prisoners, l'Olonnais preferred to simply execute his captives, usually by beheading them. This guy was ruthless, known for torturing his prisoners and taking what he wanted when he wanted it. L'Olonnais eventually met a gruesome end at the hands of the indigenous people of Darien, who were decidedly not fans of his whole murder and pillage thing. Henry Morgan, from pirate to politician? Talk about a career change. Let's be real, most pirates were not exactly known for their career ladder aspirations. But then there was the Welsh pirate, Henry Morgan, who took the phrase, "It's not a job, it's a lifestyle," to a whole new level. In January of 1668, he attacked the Cuban town of Puerto Principe. He ordered his men to lock the inhabitants inside a church so that they could plunder the town unhindered. During the summer of that same year, he gathered a force of privateers and was able to capture the 3 forts guarding Portobello, located in modern-day Panama. Afterwards, he and his fellow pirates sacked Portobello. This guy went from raiding Spanish settlements with reckless abandon to becoming the lieutenant governor of Jamaica. He parlayed his ill-gotten gains into a legitimate, well, mostly legitimate position of power, proving that even pirates can clean up nice. Captain William Kidd, the OG treasure hunter, who maybe didn't actually find any treasure. Captain William Kidd, the name alone conjures images of buried treasure, cryptic maps, and maybe even a talking parrot or two. Kidd was commissioned by the English crown to hunt down pirates. Ironic, right? But somewhere along the way, the lines got a little blurry. In January of 1698, while sailing in the Indian Ocean, he caught sight of the Quedagh Merchant, an Armenian ship that was carrying a treasure trove of gold, silk, spices, and other riches. After plundering the ship, England denounced him as a pirate. With the intention of clearing his name in the summer of 1699, he sailed to New York City. Before reaching New York, as a precaution against seizure, he buried most of his treasure on Gardiner's Island, off the coast of Long Island. This then gave birth to the buried pirate treasure and the treasure map tropes. He was hanged in 1701, but the legend of his buried treasure lives on, inspiring countless treasure hunts and fueling imaginations for centuries. John Rackham, also known as Calico Jack. If pirates had a fashion week, Calico Jack would be the headliner, strutting his stuff in his signature brightly colored calico clothing. But Calico Jack was more than just a pretty face in fancy clothes. He was a skilled sailor and a shrewd strategist. However, he was not one of the more successful pirates. Most of his victims were fishermen and lightly armed traders. Nevertheless, he is remembered by history, mostly because two female pirates, Anne Bonny and Mary Read, who served under his command. In a world dominated by men, Anne Bonny and Mary Read said, "Hold our grog." Anne Bonny, who was Irish, left her husband to be with John Rackham. Before joining Calico Jack's crew, Mary Read, who was English, sailed for quite some time disguised in men's clothing. These women were fierce, independent, and they took absolutely no nonsense from anyone, especially not from men who underestimated them. Disguised as men, they fought alongside their male counterparts, proving their skills with a sword were just as sharp as their wit. While their story ends in capture, aren't all the best stories kinda tragic? Their legend lives on. From prostitute to pirate queen, Zheng Yisao's story is one for the history books. Zheng Yisao, also known as Madame Cheng, commanded a fleet of over 1,800 ships and tens of thousands of pirates, making her one of the most successful pirates in history, regardless of gender. She implemented a strict code of conduct for her crew and even offered amnesty to those who surrendered willingly. She demanded protection money from coastal communities, attacked ships in the South China Sea, ran a large opium smuggling operation, and once even kidnapped 7 British sailors. Eventually, Zheng Yisao negotiated a pardon for herself and her remaining crew, retiring from piracy with her wealth and her head held high. Ever heard of the Ganges Sawai? No? Well, it was basically the Titanic of treasure ships, overflowing with riches beyond your wildest dreams. And Henry Every? He's the guy who stole it all. Henry Every may not be the most well-known pirate, but he was the most prosperous one. He is also famous for being one of the very few major pirate captains to escape with his loot without being arrested or killed in battle. In 1695, Henry Every's audacious raid on the Ganges Sawai, the flagship of the Imperial Indian Mughal treasure fleet, is the stuff of legends, a tale so unbelievable it is hard to believe it actually happened. He made off with a haul so massive it would make even the wealthiest sultan blush, as well as making him the most wanted man, not only by the Mughal Empire, but also by England as well. But then, just as quickly as he rose to fame, Every vanished. Whatever his fate, one thing's for sure. Henry Every's legend continues to capture imaginations and inspire countless tales of adventure, mystery, and of course, buried treasure. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through the wild world of pirates. We've laughed, we've learned, and we've cringed at some of those stories. Being a pirate was not all sunshine and buried treasure. From Blackbeard to Zheng Yisao, these figures have inspired countless books, movies, and Halloween costumes. So next time you see a pirate flag, remember the tales of adventure and plundering we've shared today. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned to our channel for more videos about pirates. And that's a wrap, mateys!
Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know and hear your feedback. And if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where you can get early access to our videos and where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is Geeky Tidbits saying cheers and have a good day.